Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Marcellus Library's April card class. We're going to be making a succulent card today, and I just wanted to give you a few tips and instructions here. So I included in your kit a napkin that really is just for color purposes. So you can see that some of these succulents have multi-tones of greens, blues, purples, all kinds of different colors in them, and that's just for inspiration. So you could make another card with it. You could enjoy it just as a napkin. But I just wanted you to see that because I think a lot of times that's the hardest part with succulents, is that there's so many different pieces to it. So our card is a beautiful cutout. It's a die cut, and you may need to poke out a little bit of these pieces here. You can see from one that I have here, you might get a piece that's got a few little ones in there, and if you just take your pencil and poke through, most of these should come right out. You might need a toothpick. 99% of them are already poked out for you. If you do need to take a scissor or something to it, it should come out pretty easily. So we are using our Simply Succulent set from Stampin' Up, and this has some great stamps to it, as well as the beautiful die cut that I used to cut all of those card fronts out. So you've got a piece of ribbon in here, and you'll also have a set of sentiments and your card embellishments there. So let's go ahead and get started. You did get a card base in your kit, as well as the purple layer and the succulent sentiment piece, and then the piece of ribbon. So I went ahead and I did a little bit of brush work here. So I have these makeup brushes. You could also use a piece of paper towel, an old toothbrush, anything that works for you. You can also just color the back with whatever you may have, whether that is colored pencils or maybe you have markers. You could take the markers and put them on a brush and use the color from that. This color is Blackberry Bliss from Stampin' Up, which is a proprietary color for Stampin' Up. If you don't happen to have that color, the nice thing with succulents is they have so many colors in them. So whether it's the greens, the purples, any of that, but I'm going to show you with this stencil. This one had greens and purples in here, and it really didn't matter where I put the greens or the purples. It just kind of works because the succulents are so varied in color. But I'm just going to take a little bit of green and work some green in here. But you do what you like best and what you think works best for you. Honestly, you could probably leave the whole thing white if you wanted to. As far as the texture of this, it looks fabulous on just white. But really up to you. You can do whatever works best for you. As you can see, this looks wonderful with a lot of the purples in there. Obviously my favorite, if you know me. Looks great with the greens in there. So the important thing that you need to do first is to put your piece of ribbon on there. So I had a pre-cut piece of ribbon, but of course it is eluding me right at this second. So what you want to do, let me just cut a quick piece here. These are not my ribbon scissors. Now I used glue dots to adhere it to the back, but you can also just use your glue. I just put a glue dot here and I put it on the back, brought it around the front, and then you're going to need to trim it so that it works. I just want to lay it flat and make sure that it's straight before I get the glue dot where it needs to be. And then I'll cut it. And honestly, if the ribbon goes around the back, you're not going to see it because it is that iridescent. Now the important thing you need to know when gluing this down, please don't glue all over here because it's only going to seep through and make it really, really sticky. Your best bet is to glue your corners, and then as you're gluing your embellishments down, that is where it's going to hold a little bit better. So you've got this together here, which is not super straight, but we'll work with it. So I went and just went around the edges here. And you knew I was going to pick the purple one, right? So line it up with the edge of the card that has the fold, because you can always cut the other side just in case it doesn't match up perfectly. You can always trim around there. So there we go with that. And you could have it so that it opens like a regular card this way, or you could do it this way. Really up to you. Now as far as how I did the, oh, there's my cut piece. I knew it was there somewhere. As far as how I took care of the embellishments here, I took my brush again and I brought in some greens and some purples. Also, you could do that very easily, you know, with your colored pencils and bring your color in. And if you wanted an area just a little bit darker, or maybe you wanted to put little purple tips along each one, the colored pencil would be a great way to do that. And then I just took the scissors and fussy cut these out. So I'm not going to cut this real tight just for time purposes on the video, but you know, I did take a little more care when I cut out the sample, just making sure your edges are a little bit more precise, especially with the points, and this one there as well. So I did have this going this way, and I bought that one there. I did take Kind People Are My Kind of People. Took a little bit of the purple ink and went over that as well, just because it seemed a little stark white on the front. But if you were putting it on the inside, it wouldn't matter, because the inside of your card obviously is still white. So really totally up to you, but just embellish it how you would like to on the front. Put your sentiment, whatever you would like, on the inside. Maybe you want a back stamp on that, and you've got yourself a beautiful card. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. All of my information is there. But this new succulent set is part of the brand new catalog. There'll be a new catalog coming out the beginning part of May. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. I'd be happy to get one to you. I hope all of you are staying safe. We are getting so close to being able to come back and do classes in person. I look forward to seeing all of you. Have a great one. See you soon.